Hey traders, today is August 26th and I'm going to go over the only trade that I took for the morning. We did have some gold and silver plays that were working out pretty well this morning, and this is the only one that I took. I've been trying to be conservative and only take really, good A trades that come on my radar with nice, pretty setups. And this one was IAG, and it's IM Gold Corp. And gold's been bouncing, so I figured I'd take a stab at this one. And basically, let me start with the daily. So this is a continuation trade, continuation of the original run up, the momentum. Now, pulling extensions on this. When I was pulling extensions, I'm normally a pivot to pivot when I pull extensions, and if I have an unrealistic extension on the daily, like you can see, we have confluence into this 750 level, but I don't expect it to get there today with the current momentum and the current volume. So I'm going to look for something a little more realistic. So what I did was, instead of looking at that, that's more of a longer term target. I went ahead and pulled from this gap. I like to pull extensions from gaps and use my pivot to pivot move from the gap, the original. So the gap started at around 511, so that's where I started my extension, and then I pulled back on this pullback, and I got this 7 level, 699 7 level. So of course, that's a nice even round number psychologically for traders, so we could definitely expect a reaction around this level or a push to get to it to see what happens from there. So I went ahead and I entered on the intraday break. I did have a level around 790 or 695 on other time frames. My 15-minute and my 60-minute time frame was giving me that level, so I actually ended up taking a little bit off at that level just to be just to scale a little out, just in case these targets were more accurate than my daily target, even though they were just a few cents off. That can make a difference, if you have a lot of shares on the line. So this is the daily or the 2-minute chart, and I went ahead and entered on this intraday breakout. I scaled some in right at the break, uh, or right around that 84 level, and I scaled a little bit more in once I had some confirmation. I wanted to see this bar right here close above the break point or the intraday break point. So once I got that confirmation, I went ahead and I entered a little bit more. So my first scale out was at that 694 level, 695 level that I discussed previously. And then I was hanging out for a pullback. I was going to let it, try to reach my target. It got right to 7, and I was squeezing my stop for the rest of my shares around this level right here. I wanted to see if this edge was going to hold and we were going to maybe get another push higher, but obviously that didn't happen. So the buyers just couldn't get it higher past that 7 level. So you can see how extension levels can be very, very important to pay attention to, because if you would have kind of held this thing and hoped that it was going to pass through 7, because that's just a big mental number for traders, you would have ended up very disappointed trying to hold this, because it ended up just coming right back down to the original breakout point, and even lower than that. So it's always good to pay attention to your targets and pay attention to your extensions, and also, another thing that was important on this one. This is really a momentum sector play, because if you take a look at gold, the actual um, GLD is the ticker right here. You can see that it's just kind of an inside day on gold. So we had that original momentum out the gate for a possible break above Friday's highs. However, we never broke above Friday's highs, so you can see now we're just having this flat, choppy inside day that's really doing nothing. So, I'm not surprised that my IAG stock didn't end up doing bigger things and making bigger moves. So I'm glad that I stuck to my target level and didn't have too high of expectations for the stock, considering the circumstances and considering the confluence at these levels.